time, we're very close. In fact, if you take the whole class, we recruited more than the national average as the number of women were usually in this campus, which was 14%. We were at 19%. So we began to change in terms of what it looked like.
They're on top of the current crime patterns and trends happening in their area. Know who's who, know what's going on. So, like Mary said, it's been more intelligence-driven. Our sort of grand, high-level crime strategy is to be more focused in that we know that it's a very small percentage of people involved in the city that are involved in crime, and particularly violent crime. So, we believe that by focusing on those people most likely to commit crime or be victims of those crimes, that we can be more effective, and then at the same time not stop a lot of the wrong people. Ultimately, I don't have the cops to throw huge wide nets out and stop everybody, but it's not an effective strategy anyway. It's not an ethical way to go about our business. Ultimately, people in the neighborhood know who's up to no good, and when the police are out there stopping the wrong people, it undermines confidence in the police department, and they think we're either incompetent or corrupt.
They're not in school, they could be doing all kinds of other things that lead to so many more problems and poverty, teen pregnancy. You all know what I mean. So, luckily, things are changing as far as legislation for our state, which is really who is ultimately responsible, and then obviously local, electing the people who want to make this a priority. So, I'm just going to give you some facts, which is why I'm going to cheat paper. Kamala Harris, our Attorney General, was able to push legislation this year in January with the Assembly Education Committee, a series of bills to attack truancy. And these numbers are staggering, and it surprised me because I hadn't looked at this before this closely. I've only looked at the data we're dealing with in Oakland, but apparently in the United States, only 1 in 4 states, we're one of 4 states, that does not collect the data at a state level on truancy. So if you're not looking at it, you can't solve it. So now they're going to be moving in that direction based on these assembly bills passed in January. And 1 in 4 of our elementary school kids in California is truant, which costs the districts millions of dollars because average daily attendance is how it's funded. So 82% of the prisoners in the United States are dropouts. I think this is pretty obvious stuff, right? But when it comes down to the cost, California's cost for incarceration, $46 billion. And we all know how well we're funding schools, not so well. So